Hello. The fifth theme of this course concerns firms in the global economy. And let me start with a more empirical description of exporting firms. So on this first slide, I have taken from the textbook by Krugman et al. Some interesting data from an article by Bernard, Jensen, Redding, and Scott that describes the proportion of American firms reporting export sales by industry. And this data is somewhat old already from the year 2000, but I believe that the situation is not dramatically different in the USA. So here on the top of the table, we have some industries such as printing, furniture, or wood products, where the export sales are relatively rare, and this is perhaps due to the types of products that are mainly produced for the domestic markets. But interestingly, even at the bottom of the list, where there's most export active industries like computers or electrical equipment, the share of firms reporting export sales is only 38%. So that implies that more than 60% of the computer and electrical firms are mainly focused on the domestic market in the USA. So the export activities are not necessarily very common. So for comparison, let me then take more recent data from Finland that I could find. So Finland is of course a smaller open economy where exports are perhaps more important than in the large economy such as the USA. So in this slide, I have these bars representing the shares of exporting firms in manufacturing, construction industry, trade and commerce, and services. So not surprisingly, the highest bar we find for the manufacturing industry, where 64% of the Finnish firms have some export sales. And this is definitely higher than what we found in the previous table for the USA, but still even in the Finnish manufacturing, it's just somewhat higher than half of the firms have exporting activities. In the construction industry, exporting is relatively rare. Only 5% of the Finnish construction companies have export activities. And we saw in some of the previous video lessons that in service industry there has been like a growth in the export activities. So in 2024, last year, the Finnish service industry is 28% of the service industry firms had export activities. And this middle bar 31 is trade and commerce. So there is of course trade by construction could be also involved with international trade, but only about 1/3 of the firms in trade and commerce have export activities. What about size of the exporting firms in Finland? So this covers now all industries, but the firms are classified by size group. So, and not surprisingly, in very small firms with less than 10 employees, only 26% of firms have export activities. And then if we increase to the companies with 10 to 50 or 10 to 49 employees to be more precise, then approximately 1/3 have exporting activities. In companies from 50 to 249 employees, then there's 53%, so more than half already have export activities. And in the largest category of more than 250 employees, already 78%, so large majority has exporting activities. So I think this diagram nicely illustrates that exporting firms tend to be larger. Notice also that in Finland already 250 employees A firm with 250 employees is considered a large firm, whereas in some larger countries, perhaps this would be still relatively small firm. Finally, what about geographical location of exporting firms? It might be tempting to think that firms close to the capital region in Helsinki or firms located in the border areas would be more likely to export. But interestingly, this is not really the case. So this diagram then partition the population of Finnish firms to 5 different regions. So the leftmost is the capital region of Helsinki and Uusimaa. Then we have other southern Finland, west, east, and north in these bars. So as expected, the capital region of Helsinki-Uusimaa has the highest propensity to export with 33% share of exporting firms. This is also where the large firms are typically located at. But I find it quite interesting that there is not such a huge gap between other regions of even East and North Finland, so that these exporting firms are geographically spread across the whole country relatively evenly. So in the next lesson, we then go into little bit more theoretical level of this, how the trade costs affect export decisions. See you then.